Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. I was having some technical issues, but we got it squared away. Um, if you can hear me, can you go ahead and give me a thumbs up or throw it in the chat and let me know if you can hear me? That was an issue with. Can you hear me just fine? Hello? Can you hear me, guys? Okay, I think Claudette raised her hand. So I think you guys can go ahead and hear me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and begin. All right, so I'm Yvonne Reza. I'm a health education specialist here with Durham County Department of Public Health. And today's webinar is Screen Time and Skin Time, Understanding the Effects of Blue Light. Sorry, I'm still trying to. All right, so what is blue light? Blue light is a high energy shortwave length light that's emitted by the sun, but it's also emitted by LED lighting and screens such as phones, computer screens, tablets, etc. So while natural daytime exposure boosts mood and alertness, excessive evening exposure from the devices suppresses such things as melatonin, and which as a result will go ahead and disrupt your sleep cycles and potentially also causing some eye issues. So those are the ones that we're going to go ahead and be talking about as well. But it also affects our skin, and that's also something that a lot of people do not know. All right, so poll question. Let me just. Sorry, y'all. I'm working with another screen that I'm not used to. All right, so here's your poll question. How many hours a day do you spend on the screen? 0 to 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours, 4 to 8 hours, or 8+ hours? Give you guys a minute to answer that. Okay, so looks like it's a tie between 4 and 8 and 8+ hours. And then one person responded 2 to 4. All right. So we have a 40% tie between 4 and 8 hours and 8+ hours, and then one person answered 2 to 4 hours. All right. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. So, well, the 8+ hours are the ones that I would have voted in that one as well, the 8+ hours, only because of the amount of time that I spent here at work, just doing stuff on the screen. And then once I go ahead and get home, I also go ahead and check stuff out on my phone. And that's just like throughout the day until the evening hours, until I finally go ahead and set it down for the night. So that I need to work on that. All right. So blue light penetrates the skin relatively superficial. It goes as deep as 1 millimeter or less into the tissue. It targets the epidermis and the upper dermis, so the top layers of your skin. So it doesn't penetrate as much as a UVA light, which is something deeper as the sun. But it's still enough that it can go ahead and trigger damage in the epidermis and reach the dermal layer. It does affect the collagen and elastin in your skin. Um, because it reaches the dermis, the deeper the layer of the skin, that's how it starts breaking down that collagen, and it can go. That's the thing that can go ahead and lead to premature aging and dark spots. Due to its shallow penetration, blue light is often used in dermatology to target superficial problems like acne bacteria and precancerous lesions in upper layers. So it's not completely bad, but the fact that it's used to treat such things on the skin, that tells you that it does have effects on our skin. It induces oxidative stress and free radicals, which are similar to those that are associated with UV exposure, like when you're under the sun. Um, the blue light has the highest energy and deepest penetration compared to, for example, red light, which does go ahead and penetrate a lot deeper. Those are also used for like some therapies, but not as common as the blue light. So what can blue light do to our skin? So as I mentioned earlier, aging and wrinkles because it affects the collagen. So it breaks down that collagen and elastin. It can go and lead to also dark spots and the hyperpigmentation in the skin. It's especially noticeable more on darker skin tones. And I was curious about like why does that happen? On darker skin tones, and it's because it affects it affects the melanocytes, which are associated with the melanin. So the darker skin tones have more melanin in their skin, so that increases the pigment production, leading to the longer lasting hyperpigmentation. Or uneven skin tone and conditions such as melasma. It can also lead to inflammation and irritation. And such things like acne or rosacea can go ahead and they can go ahead and make it harder to go ahead and control. So there's a lot of medications to go ahead and treat both of them, but the blue light can go ahead and make it a lot harder to go ahead and treat. It also, because it disrupts the skin barrier, it can lead to dryness of your skin and more sensitivity to your skin. It accelerates skin aging. So because it penetrates deeper than UV rays, the elastin and the collagen leads to fine lines, wrinkles, and that loss of firmness. Granted, once we start aging, we start losing a lot of that too, but the blue light doesn't help it. So what can we do for protection? So there's tinted sunscreen. So unlike the SPF sunscreens, tinted sunscreen, especially the tinted mineral sunscreens, contain iron oxide. That's the thing that's necessary to block blue light from both the sun and the screens. You can also go ahead and apply antioxidants such as products that contain vitamin C or E or niacinamide. Those help neutralize the stress that the skin is receiving by making it stronger, making the skin barrier a lot stronger and able to go ahead and fight off those radicals, damaging radicals. You can also go ahead and use digital filters. So in the night, I mentioned way at the beginning that a lot of the blue light affects you. It affects the most affected it has on us is during the night. So it's important for us to go ahead and switch to night mode on our devices or have blue light filters on the phones and computers to reduce the amount of the harmful light that's being emitted. Also, make sure that you keep a good digital distance. It's recommended that you at least have 12 inches between your face and the device. That reduces the intensity of the exposure. And for us, that we go ahead and work in front of screens all day long. But if you are someone that's on the screen during the night, especially, follow the 20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something that's 20 feet away for 20 seconds to reduce that exposure, to that constant exposure to your eyes. So keep a timer, or just, if you're good at keeping track or kind of setting time, just always try to go ahead and every 20 minutes look away from your screen, look at something at a distance for 20 seconds, and then you can go ahead and resume. Um, Even if you're in a meeting or something, just maybe close your eyes. That way, if it's something that you have to go ahead and be present there, 20 seconds, for 20 seconds. It's not that long, so I don't think people are going to think that you're falling asleep. Um, Also incorporate anti-pollution skincare. What does that mean? So look for skincare labeled as anti-pollution or digital defense. Those are rich in antioxidants, and those are designed to fight environmental stressors such as the blue light. So this is something and I'm not too big on like skincare. I need to do a lot better on that. But I was curious as far as like looking into that, and there are, like, if you go ahead and Google anti-pollution skincare or digital defense, Google does actually find a good array of options that you can go ahead and pick from. So I would highly suggest looking into that. What about our eyes? So the skin isn't the only thing that gets affected. Their blue light from screens generally does not cause permanent damage or blindness, but it does go ahead and affect it. And primarily the main thing that it does is the digital eye strain. Um, the it's going to go it may go ahead and cause some dryness to your eyes. um it's especially like if there's a big layer on the screen, then your eyes are constantly having to go ahead and fight to try to go ahead and focus on what you're looking at, or trying to go ahead and read. Those such things can go ahead and lead to headaches, dry eyes, and at some point you're going to go ahead and also feel some fatigue. The main thing that it causes with the blue light in the eyes is that the sleep disruption. Exposure to blue light in the evening suppresses the melatonin production, which tricks your body into thinking it's daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. So during the day, it's good because we need that little, kick of energy, to try to go ahead and keep going. And that's how our body knows that we're supposed to go ahead and be awake. But then during the night, um, it's just pretty much like reading the same thing. Like, it's thinking that because you're looking at the screen, it's still daylight, so you don't get as sleepy as early as you should. So that's why people end up maybe sleeping less, or their sleep gets very disrupted because of the suppression of the melatonin, which is a hormone that helps you fall asleep. um so nowadays you go ahead and find about a lot, like if you go to the eye doctor, or there's blue light glasses, or they offer you the option to go ahead and add that to your prescription. There's actually, and I was surprised about this because that's something that I go ahead and add to my son's classes, but more evidence is showing more and more that there's scientific evidence is showing that the glasses don't haven't necessarily prevent it much. They do go ahead and help, but not to the extent where people were thinking that it would. Sunlight does continue to go ahead and be like the main thing that affects your eyes, but blue light not so much. Um, and it really hasn't helped too much with reducing the digital eye strain, and that's according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology. Um, as far as like the glasses, while they help lower the stress in the evening, using them during the day might not be necessary. So maybe you just need, like, if you have some nighttime glasses, which most people just have one pair, um, but that's when you would want to go ahead and use it the most, because that you need things, filters, or as many things as you can go ahead and use to try to go ahead and block that blue light. Um, some studies have shown some improvements, but like I said, most of them really have not really showed any significant differences. How to protect your eyes. I mentioned the 20-20-20 20 rule, and adjusting your settings to the night mode, or yellow tinted screen filters to reduce that yellow output. Um, Keeping screens at least 25 inches or arm's length away from your eyes. Lubricate those eyes. Use artificial tears if your eyes feel dry. Remember to blink often. Um, if you are one that suffers from allergies, your eyes might be drier than usual as well. So it's important to go ahead and lubricate well. And use proper lighting. Avoid using devices in the dark room. Increase the ambient room lighting to minimize the contrast between the screen and the surrounding environment. And it's also important to reduce the glare. Use screen filters to decrease it so it's not as shiny on there. I know sometimes it might be easier to go ahead and see, but especially during the night, it's just hurting your eyes a whole lot. So, blue light, skin damage, including hyperpigmentation, collagen breakdown, and inflammation, can significantly be improved and largely reversed through professional targeted treatments. Those treatments can go ahead and be like laser treatments. Those are they use lasers such as IPL, the intense pulse light. Those are effective in targeting deeper skin layers to stimulate the collagen and reduce the pigmentation and tighten skin. Those can go ahead and may be pricey. Yeah, so there's also other things. There's also photodynamic therapy that uses light to activate a solution applied to the skin, which helps remove damaged cells. So remember, it affects that top layer, so it's removing those dead cells. Treating. It can also go ahead and be used to treat precancerous lesions, and it's also used for rejuvenating skin texture. Topical skin care is also something that would be at reach for most. Products containing retinol, vitamin A, are highly effective at promoting skin cell turnover to reduce wrinkles and improve texture. Antioxidants like vitamin C can also repair damage to the skin. Excuse me. Um, Other preventive measures that you can go ahead and do is protecting the skin with mineral sunscreens, as I mentioned earlier, than tinted mineral sunscreen. Those contain zinc oxide, or just go ahead and look at your, there's been a lot of improvements with sunscreen. So if you just go ahead and take a look at your sunscreen, make sure that it has zinc oxide. Um, that's going to go ahead and help shield against the blue light damage. But what about the eyes? So can those go ahead and be reversed as easily as the skin? So if it happens to go ahead and have like retina and macula damage, then those are irreversible. You're not able to go ahead and fix that. However, treatments can delay impairment or improve vision only to some extent. But so it's when it comes to the eyes, it's very, very important to just follow rules such as the 20-20-20 breaks. the distance, the filters and stuff like that, because those are a lot hard. The eyes are a lot harder to go ahead and, like I said, it's not able to be reversed, but they can only go ahead and delay any additional impairments, vision impairments. Um, And then, as far as like the improved vision only to a certain extent, well, like your prescription glasses can go ahead and be changed. Those, you have to go every year to go ahead and get your eyes checked. So things like that will go ahead and help you prevent further damage. But it's going to be more on you as far as making sure that you go ahead and take necessary precautions. So what are the key takeaways? So blue light has the ability to penetrate deeper layers of the skin, reaching the dermis, where collagen and elastin are found. Over time, this can go ahead and contribute to stress in the skin, which accelerates the signs of aging, pigmentation, which are the dark spots, and worsens irritation or inflammation skin conditions such as acne or rosacea. While the intensity of blue light from screens is significantly lower than what we get from the sun, our devices sit very close to our face and are used for many hours each day. And that includes our computer. This means that cumulative exposure can still have meaningful effects, especially with prolonged daily habits. So it's important for us to go ahead and do those make those changes. However, the good news is that small, practical little habits, as the ones that I mentioned, offer real protection and a delay in further damage. Daily use of broad spectrum tinted sunscreen, um, or and adding antioxidant rich blue light reducing settings and screen filters and taking regular breaks can all help minimize potential skin stress from digital light. And that is it. Does anyone have any questions? Let me just switch. I don't see anything. All right, yeah, well, once again, my name's Yvonne, and I'm a health education specialist here in Durham County. So you're welcome to go ahead and, whoa, I went ahead and put Gmail, but it's actually deconc.gov. Let me go ahead and correct that. So if you need to go ahead and reach me, feel free to go ahead and give me a call or reach me via email. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. You're welcome, Yeneth.